Hello, art students. My name is Pika-corn. Do you notice that I'm sort of like half Pikachu, half unicorn? That's right. Last week we learned about hybrid animals. Hey, I hear something coming. Oh, hello. Hello. This is my friend Panda Bee. Hello, I am half Panda Bear and half Bumblebee. I can see that. Hey, where's Miss Frills? I think she's coming here later. All right, well, let's introduce this week's lesson, shall we? Well, of course. Do you think you could go grab my guitar for me? Sure, I'll be right back. Welcome to this week's art lesson, week 17. Create a character and character puppets. Whoa! I didn't know you could play the guitar so well. I love playing the guitar. Can you play any instruments? I can. Let me be right back and I'll go grab it. What is that? This is a harmonica. Listen up. Cool! Let's get to some more information about this week's lesson. Here comes Miss Frills. Hello again, my art students. It's your art teacher, Miss Frills, feeling a little bit silly this week and having a lot of fun making my character stick puppets. Did you know that when we learn about writing and reading, we also learn about the elements of a story? In a story, there are three basic elements. There is the plot, like what is the story about? There is the setting, where is the story taking place? And there are the characters. Who is in the story or what is in the story? Characters are some of the most important story elements because they really help us to understand the story better, or they really help us write a better story, or they help us create a better character, a better piece of art. My little character, the Panda Bee, is a cute little character, half Panda Bear, half Bumblebee, and he is super, super helpful and, as you learned, loves to play the harmonica. My other character is my Pika-corn. Pika-corn, as you learned, is half Pikachu, half unicorn. And if you notice, got butterfly wings too. And my Pika-corn loves to play the guitar. My Pika-corn loves to make art. My Pika-corn loves math and science. And they're best friends. If I were to write a story, what kind of story could I write using these characters? What would it be about? Where would this story take place? Understanding characters and story elements helps us to become better readers, better writers, and better artists. This week, we are going to be creating our own stick puppets, and we're going to be creating our own characters. Now, based on everything we've been learning these last few weeks, we've been learning about animals, we've been learning about hybrid and mixed up animals, we've been learning about characters and how to draw cartoon characters. I think this week's lesson is going to be super, super fun. All right, are you ready? Me too. Let's go! All right, my art friends. So there's a few things that would be really helpful to make your stick puppets this week. All you really need is a pencil and paper, and you can totally make a stick puppet with just pencil and paper. But there are some other things that would be super, super helpful. Now, my stick puppets are created with some different kinds of sticks. Some of you should have received your popsicle sticks from school. Now, I don't have those big fancy popsicle sticks. I just have these little silly popsicle sticks. But if you have a popsicle stick, that might be the best choice for your stick puppet. This stick puppet on my Pikacorn, I actually used a chopstick and a piece of tape. Also, if you just have like a regular straw, that could work for a stick puppet too. Or let me show you another choice. I found an old plastic fork in my silverware drawer, and a plastic fork you could also use for the back of your stick puppet. Tape is usually the best choice to stick the stick to the back of your stick puppet, but if you have a glue stick and a popsicle stick, that can work as well, and I'll show you the best way to stick a popsicle stick on the back of your character. Let's see, what else should you use? I'm going to be practicing on my whiteboard as usual, and then I'm going to be drawing my characters onto a piece of paper. I used markers and crayons to color in my stick puppets, and did you notice I also have an extra piece of paper on the back of my stick puppets? You see that? I glued them onto an extra piece of construction paper. Why? Well, because it helps to make my stick puppet characters a little bit thicker and stronger so that they don't rip so easy and they don't get all floppy. So I have a piece of purple construction paper that I'm going to be using today. You should have received a large pack of construction paper from school, and I also know you should have a popsicle stick and a glue stick. So let's get all of those materials ready before we continue. Crayons and markers, a pencil, your whiteboard, some kind of stick, tape if you have it, or a glue stick. Oh, and don't forget the scissors, of course. Get out your scissors too, because we will be doing some cutting. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, art friends, hey, I'm going to be drawing a Pikacorn, and I'm also going to be drawing a Panda Bee. But the Panda Bee is a little bit easier than the Pikacorn, so I'll be going a little bit faster with my Panda Bee if you want to draw a little Panda Bee. But first, I'm going to start with my Pikacorn. Now, remember, in my art class, you know, if you have a different idea for a character, you have a different idea for a character stick puppet, please go ahead and draw that also. And you can sort of watch how I how I create my Pikacorn, how I copy it from a whiteboard to paper, how I cut it out and glue it onto a piece of construction paper, and then you can do the same with your character. But hey, if you want to draw a basic Pikacorn with me, let's go ahead. Pikachu is one of the most popular characters that we draw in my art classroom. For like 4 years, every year, kids are so excited to learn how to draw Pikachu, and so I thought it'd be fun to draw a basic Pikachu. And then you can take some of the ideas from me, or you can add your own details to your Pikachu or your Pikacorn, whatever you decide to do. Okay, now I'm going to show you a little trick about cutting out this character. When I cut things out in art, I kind of have a little trick. I don't usually try to cut right on the lines. You know why? Cutting right on the lines not only takes a really long time, but it can actually be really frustrating because it's difficult. It's difficult to cut right on the lines. So Miss Frills has a trick where when I cut, I just cut around the lines. I leave space between my scissors and the outline of the character or the outline of anything I'm cutting out. I leave space. So this is called the outline because it's to line on the outside. So that makes sense, right? So look, I'm not even going to touch those whiskers. No way am I going to go in there and cut in between all those whiskers. You got to be kidding me. I'm just going to cut around them. I'm going to give my scissors space between the outline of my art. And I am just going to cut around it. So I'm not actually ever going to touch any of the lines that I made of my art. I'm only going around it. Do you see that? Do you see how I'm leaving space between the outline and my scissors? So much easier. Okay, now I'm going to take my construction paper. Construction paper is just the name of the paper that is thick and colorful. And usually you have access to this kind of paper in school. I chose purple. It looks blue on my camera, but it's actually purple. And what I'm going to do is instead of putting my Picacorn right in the middle and wasting a lot of space, a lot of paper on the outside, I am just going to move my Picacorn over to the corner about right there. So I have a little bit of space like this, and that way when I cut it out, I can save a lot of paper. If you don't have construction paper at home, who cares? Don't worry about it. You can totally just make a stick puppet with paper and crayons and a pencil and basically any kind of stick. Hey, you could also use a pencil. You could also tape a pencil on the back of your stick puppet if you don't have any other kind of sticks, or you could go outside and hunt for a stick and use a stick from outside. So if you don't have construction paper, don't worry about it. But it just helps to make the stick puppet a little bit thicker. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the back here all the way around. So cute. Okay, if you are using a popsicle stick, my popsicle stick is so tiny. I'm sorry, I don't have any of the ones from school right now. If you're using a popsicle stick though, when you use your popsicle stick at the top, you're going to want to put a lot of glue. You're going to want to turn your stick puppet over, and you're going to want to hold your popsicle stick down, count to like 20. You're going to press firmly, that means press kind of hard, and count all the way to 20 before you let go. This will give the glue stick a chance to dry. If you're not using a popsicle stick, or you'd like to use something else like a chopstick, let me take this one off my other Picacorn. This is just a chopstick from a restaurant. You can put your chopstick down, and if you're using tape, then I would probably, just to be safe, maybe use like 2 or 3 pieces of tape. Hold your stick down, put one sort of like closer to the top. Really use your fingers to push that tape down, okay? And if it falls off, who cares? You just put more tape and more glue on later, right? So I would do like maybe one closer to the top and one closer to the bottom of your stick puppet. Press firmly, and voila. You have yourself a little puppet. Yay, you could make movies with him. He could go dancing. Or you could make accessories. You could make your stick puppet different things to play with, like a guitarra. He can play his guitarra. I just made that out of paper and cut it out. Or he could play the harmonica just like my little panda bee. You could put that in his hand like Miss Friels plays. What other kinds of accessories could you make for your stick puppet? All right, friends, let's make a panda bee very quickly, and let's continue on. Think about the plot, think about the settings of our characters, and just keep having fun. I hope you had a lot of fun this week. I know I sure did. And I also know my characters sure did also. All right, our friends, I can't wait to see you next week for another exciting episode of Art Time with Miss Friels. We'll see you later, okay? Bye!